saying? What are they saying?
All right.
The way that you're whining is, other than the word hooligan, what are they saying? Hello, we started a show, by the way.
No, my computer just came up. Like,
And little Nicky, in the future, because Squeeze is complaining about his equipment, can you please meet with Squeeze after the show today at 10, and find out what equipment?
12 for lunch with an American Express card.
Okay. Can you find out what equipment he needs and how it has to be set up, so that way he comes in happy?
Well, he carries his equipment with him, so I wouldn't be able to set it up for him before.
Most men do carry their own equipment, but maybe he wants to share his equipment with you.
Not interested.
You're not interested in his equipment?
No, thank you.
No?
By the way, guys, this is a family show and a law show.
Yeah, I was gonna throw
let me
that in
disclaim,
there.
I will not subject myself to any lawsuits.
But then you can't
Neither will I.
complain that your equipment's not set up if you're carrying your own equipment on you.
I always carry my heart at.
You guys are really sick.
All right, anyway, guys, let's get serious. Today, we're doing straight immigration. No lollygagging,
No.
okay?
Okay, start.
And we're going back to words of the day. Mr. SMG, while you're eating your food on the set, could you tell me what the word conundrum means?
Conundrum.
Yes.
I know what it means.
If you have
Okay.
a conundrum, it's
Mr.
like
Bernstein, the lawyer, what does the word conundrum mean?
It is some sort of quizzical problem,
Yeah,
Do we have any kind of conundrum here?
we do.
which is what? We have nobody on the line to answer immigration
Yep,
questions.
yep.
Okay.
People, you guys have to call in from before the show starts. We're waiting for you.
Yes.
We're here to offer.
All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a conundrum.
Squeeze says no. By the way, Squeeze came in this morning. He says USA Credit is not going to sponsor any nonsense today.
No.
There will be no nonsense sponsored by USA Credit. It's just immigration. USA Credit doesn't want to be responsible for any nonsense. They have a good reputation to uphold, and they will not sponsor any more nonsense.
Absolutely not.
So I said, okay, we'll do immigration then.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. We're getting down to business. So all the folks who wants to have their immigration questions answered, now is the time to answer. Let me just be professional. Today's Thursday. It is the 11th of May. Immigration questions answered. 5 days away now is the time. Mother's birthday. All right. And it's 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's going up to about 70 degrees today.
beautiful.
Okay. And it's a beautiful day on the outside here in wonderful New York City. And we're saying to each and every one, we are here. We've got Brad Bernstein, who have the big microphone, and all of us have small microphones. Okay, we have addressed that. We have SMG, who is a social media guy. That's the reason why you will be sharing, liking, loving us on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and
YouTube.
Periscope. And of course, all you got to do is just look up law offices of Spar, Bernstein, or David Squeeze Annakie. We got little Nicky, we got Giselle. Still trying to find out why little Nicky's here. And I am David Squeeze Annakie. It's supposed to be my show, but I've got a small mic. And we are here taking your calls
our
at
show.
1-800-529-5465. And yeah, it's called Brad and Squeeze for a reason, I guess.
Yes,
Right?
that's right. It's not called the Squeeze Show.
Oh.
It's called the Brad and Squeeze Show.
You
But
know.
what we will do, Squeeze,
Yeah.
is I will allow you to either get a big microphone so you can feel manly also. Do you want a big microphone too to feel manly?
Like I said, we're doing a straight immigration show today.
You have this like
We
Napoleon.
agreed before the show start, we're doing straight immigration.
You have this Napoleon complex that why do I have
Hold her
this?
up.
Why do I have the small microphone? You have a Napoleon complex. Why? Giselle, am I right or wrong? You know who Napoleon was? He was like this tiny little general.
I know exactly who
And he wore
Napoleon
this
was.
huge hat because he had this complex that he was tiny. So he needs the big microphone too.
Who's taller?
Okay. What?
Who's taller?
I think we're the same size.
It's both of you guys' shows, so definitely.
We should have
he
equal.
should
We should have an equal
yes,
microphone.
Yes, I agree. with
And
that.
and it also seems that my equipment works and his doesn't.
G?
So his equipment should work as well in the
Here we go
morning.
again.
Seriously?
Can you read his
Are
handwriting
you
today?
serious?
I bet you Giselle could not figure it out.
Giselle can figure
Actually,
it out.
I can. I think I'm the only person in this office who can
No, it's a
understand
different
Brad's.
password now. It's a different password now.
That's a cue, I think.
It's a
we
different
can write a
password.
fresh
That is a
one.
cue. Thank you, but it's a different password. Let me write it down.
So, folks, give us a call. The number is 1-800-529-5465. We're answering immigration questions from all over the world in respect to U.S. immigration. Trump fired the crap out of Comey. 1-800-529-5465. That has nothing to do
Fired
with
the
it.
crap out of him.
But I've got to bring in some current affairs.
But do you know what?
1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Is it the same?
No, it's the bottom one.
Okay.
By the way, he didn't even do it like he did in The Apprentice, where he called him in to the conference room, and there was 10 FBI agents there, and had them all argue it out, and then said, "Comey, you're fired." He didn't even do that, Squeeze. There was no they didn't have Don Jr. and Ivanka there saying, "You're right, Dad." None of that.
Just sent him a
He just sent him a letter while he was giving a speech to somebody else. He's supposed to call him into the conference room in Trump Tower. There's supposed to be 10 other FBI agents there. All of them don't know who's going to be fired. Didn't do it the right way. Wasn't as exciting.
All right. So
Right,
what's it?
Giselle?
Right.
It wasn't exciting that someone got fired.
It was no, because there should have been a buildup. He should have done it on live. He should have done it on live TV. There should have been a buildup. He should have called everyone in from the FBI and said, "We're gonna fire somebody today.
We have to make it big.
We're gonna
Everyone
make
is
it
wondering
big."
who.
Right, I got
Jeff
him.
Comey, please
Jeff
stand
Comey,
up.
right. Tell us what you did today. Tell the next guy. Tell us what
Do
you
you know what you did wrong?
What you did wrong, and then have everybody walk out, and then leave two people there to argue it out. Didn't do any of that.
Can you imagine how he must have felt?
Donald Trump.
Wouldn't that be-
That's just blindsided him. He might be got the
He
letter.
was actually giving a speech.
When he got the letter?
Donald
You-
Trump seeks
but-
to mute outcry from
By the
firing
way,
of James
you know,
Comey.
but you know what I was thinking
Fascism.
But you want to know what if I was thinking if I was James Comey, and I have no idea. Does he get any sort of protection now? Because he knows a lot of
Yeah.
secrets.
Yeah, he gets Secret Service, I think.
He knows a lot of secrets.
He does.
And
his-
I wouldn't I would have a tester
Taxpayers'
before I
money's paying for that
before
private
I
jet.
go if I go out for Chinese food.
You have a
I'm
detail.
I'm gonna have somebody taste the food first.
Oh my God.
I'm serious.
Does it
I
get
mean, I would
poison?
think yes. I think he knows a lot of stuff
Why Trump decided to fire Comey now?
because it was coming. The investigation was coming straight to him.
Way too
But you want to know what? I read a very interesting opinion piece.
Okay, can I give the number?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting your calls. We have 12 open lines. We are taking calls on immigration, U.S. immigration. So if you've got a green card issue, if you're in the United States and you have no legal status, we would like to help you. Even if you have asked your question elsewhere before, you have not asked the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. So call us now at 1-800-529-5465. I'll be slower with the number. My mother says I go too fast. I will slow down, Mom. And I'm not saying she is slow because she's getting older. All right? Maybe I am genuinely going too fast. All right? The number is 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Meanwhile, Brad and I were supposed to go to the barber and, do business
He's
talk
clean
while he's in the
today.
barber chair,
Brad came back clean.
No, but I realize what he does, and maybe it's just a figment of my imagination.
Okay.
It's not a conundrum. We were supposed to go hang out at a barber on Park Place over at Ray's Barber. And while, he's getting his haircut and I'm getting my haircut, we do business talk.
Okay.
See what the hell we're going to do, in
Yeah.
the next few years.
Okay.
This guy went to the barber, got his shave and everything. Didn't
contact
call me
you.
yesterday at all. I'm like,
Oh.
I know what he's doing. He's cleaning up himself. He's going to go on the radio, look very handsome, and I come in looking like a schmuck.
I think you look great.
I think you look.
You think I look great?
I think you look like a handsome black man.
Thank God.
I agree.
That was hilarious on Instagram.
Yeah.
People like,
but what happened is when we went to Ray's Barber last time, Squeeze doesn't know when it's time not to talk anymore. Okay, so when it's time not to talk anymore is when the barber has the razor to my neck shaving me, and he goes, Brad, you're not answering me. Brad, how come you're not? I go, because of my, I'm like, squeeze.
Take a
I'm
look at his
gonna
neck.
like, you know.
I can tell my
God, so I can't go to the barber with him because he makes me very anxious that I have to answer him right away while the guy has like a razor
blade.
to my blade in my neck.
I like your post on Instagram, by the way.
What?
You hanging around?
Yeah, hanging around waiting for the show to start. At Bernstein _Brad.
Try-
That's just what is
There's
that?
a shout out.
A shout out to Bernstein _Brad.
Follow
on
Bernstein
Instagram, yeah.
Brad.
Good. That's
Yeah,
good.
and by you could also follow me on Facebook at Brad Bernstein.
Very smart.
Hello.
Very smart.
Yeah, hanging around. I did aerial yoga. Made me want to vomit in my mouth. I was very dizzy, but I did it. Check me out there doing
I
it.
love Pilates. I don't like yoga.
What?
I love Pilates.
Yeah,
I
yoga's
like
not a manly thing.
I think I went because
But it
of
does
the
help.
instructor.
It does
Wait a
help,
minute.
but it's
oh,
not.
you really did acro yoga. This
Yes.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
this
did
picture
it.
is hilarious.
Is it hilarious?
That's why he threw his back out all the time. Anyway, let's go to Carl and come back,
That was
guys.
a throwback Thursday, by the way. That didn't happen.
Hello. Let's go to Carl and come back. Let's answer Carl's question. We're gonna make sure we get everybody's question. As long as they call, we get into their question. Yeah. Carl. Carl.
Carl.
How you doing, Carl? Carl?
Carl.
Hello.
Carl?
Good morning.
Good morning, Carl.
It's like the movie.
Good morning,
His
Carl.
name is not Carl. Hello, 1-800-529-5465. Hello, Carl.
Carl.
All right.
Good morning.
Hello. All right. Anyway,
you
while
have to
while
say
we're
something.
waiting,
Tell
Carl,
us.
Giselle, can you?
morning.
Let's ignore
We gotta
Brad. Can
wait
you tell him?
halfway through.
Can you
He
speak to
finally
the folks
gets
out there in
Yeah,
Spanish and
Carl.
let them know that we're ready to
Why don't
answer
you
their
say,
calls?
bueno.
maybe Carl speaks Spanish.
Maybe. Carl, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por llamar. I don't think he does.
Carl speaks something else.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to say something. I'm not hanging up on it.
1-800-529-5465. By the way, folks, Carl is not ready, so you may call. And do remember that you can actually find us on Facebook, David Squeeze Annakie, or Spar Bernstein. Okay, these ladies are lovely. I asked for some lotion, and they didn't even share, but it's all right. I
didn't they share?
want to say a
ashy.
pleasant good morning. Carol Anderson Tiger, could you share so people know we're actually live? And we're being serious for the first part of the show, which is rare.
We're
Carol's
trying
trying
to
to
be
anyway.
serious, but nobody calls for the first few
My
minutes.
Dukes, thank you so much for tuning in, loving us. Finley Sandy, how soon after your priority date do NVC email you for the relevant documents? My priority date is January the 2016. How soon is that, Giselle?
Depends on the category. What category did she say?
Well, she says after the priority date. Oh, it's January 16th, January 2016. I know you don't have that.
Who's sponsoring her?
Yeah, just
Okay, so Sandy, if you can tell me who's sponsoring you, maybe I can get a proper answer for you. All right. Want to say thanks to Monique Minzy, who anyone would think that she works for this company.
Yeah. She does a great job.
She loves our show.
She's the one that posted
I
the...
believe, yeah.
Can
she
we
does
hire
play.
her? We
Well,
should hire
maybe
people
I have
who
already.
love our show.
Did you see the review she posted on our Facebook page?
No.
Amazing review.
What'd she say?
5 stars. Want me
Why
to
don't you read it? Yeah.
I will. Let me pull it
Please,
up for
when
you guys.
when did she
I
leave a review?
think it was either a couple days
She's
ago
an
or a week
advocate
ago.
of the Link Up Media group of companies or associations.
Yeah, she did page 21 when you weren't here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, amazing job.
She's got my back.
She does.
At least someone does.
Oh, there's your lotion.
Oh, nice. Nikki,
I'm pulling up this
I'm-
review.
I'm
See
giving you
what
a
she
raise.
wrote.
What she wrote?
So she wrote,
See, black people has got to have this. I'm sorry.
What is it?
It's called lotion.
What, white people don't need it?
Not as
"Oh,
much as
you don't
black
get
people.
as ashy as we do."
See, I can walk
Brad
around.
doesn't know that.
Brad,
Remember?
notice-
We
Brad,
went through it. I'm
Brad,
ashy.
you can walk around and nobody sees that your hands turn white. Because you are. But black people now,
But you know
my
what?
skin complexion, it turns bright.
let me-
and you can see it.
Let me say this though.
Yeah, go
okay?
on, say it. I
can,
want to see how you're gonna get
you
into
can,
this.
You can,
Because you're out of it.
You can walk around
Yeah.
and you can put your
See,
hands.
that should have been-
And you can put your hands on all the walls.
Yeah.
And no one sees your hands get black and dirty. I
Okay.
put my hands on the walls. I'm filthy dirty. I gotta always be washing my hands. Huh? So it works both ways, my dukes.
That's a corny one. That's corny.
I haven't heard that one in ages.
In ages, right?
That's corny. That's corny. All right.
Here, let me read this review for you that Monique wrote.
Yeah, what is
By
it?
the way,
What?
moving forward, we must have lotion in the studios.
Okay,
All right.
yeah,
Necessity.
just pass that back and we'll get you your own lotion. Okay, thanks.
She's like, I'm gonna need that.
Whose
So-
motion was that?
Mine.
hers.
That's hers.
Yes, Vanilla Bean Noel.
So
Special.
Monique said, the law offices
Yes.
of Spar and Bernstein has been around for decades. A
Yes.
firm with such a long-lasting foundation has proven to several generations that they are credible, accessible, and reliable.
True.
Mr. Brad Bernstein and his associates are truly an incomparable team, working diligently and assiduously to help everyone who seeks their advice
Oh,
or
she's
help with
using my favorite
immigration
words.
law, litigation, criminal defense, family law, etc. They are the only law firm I see and know of that find time to be on a radio show twice daily for 5 days a week, answering questions for free. Being the president of such a prestigious law firm, I hail Mr. Brad Bernstein for his impeccable work and for finding time
wow.
out of his
Thank
ever
you.
so busy schedule.
That is really.
That is
And it goes
very
on.
Nice. Very
Ah.
nice.
The gold standard of reviews.
Yes. Platinum.
Thank you, Monique.
We're gonna
Thank
keep
you,
clapping on that
Monique.
one.
Thank you,
We're gonna keep
Monique.
clapping
By
on
the
that
way,
one.
let me just add in respect to Link Up Media Group of Companies and their CEO, Mr. David Squeeze Annakie, who joined forces in serving us daily doses of laughter, but is very serious in answering immigration questions.
Very good.
Well, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Squeeze and Brad.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Pat yourselves on the back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all. All right.
We should give out like an award, like
I think we should do that at the end
For
of
best
every year.
review.
the Michelle Obama Award,
I think it should be the Brad and Squeeze Award
Brad and Squeeze Award.
for at
Leave
least
a review, leave a positive review, and then
at least the three folks who actually really promote the hell out of us,
Yes.
even when we're being idiots.
Yes.
Okay, and when we're even being
And,
serious.
and by the way, I'm only an idiot 3 hours a day. Okay, the 2 hours I'm on the radio, and the last hour I'm in the bar with Squeeze. Okay, those are the 3 hours that I'm an idiot. Otherwise, I actually take my job quite seriously, right?
yes, you do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that you're really my friend. It's just that you help me to keep
Oh my
keep my sanity.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not your friend.
You know, it's
Thank you. That's really
My
nice of you.
sanity.
That's really nice of you. Thank you. You know, I really dislike you, but for some reason,
you help me to keep my
you
sanity.
keep me sane, so I keep you around. But I really don't like you personally.
At least listen, I
least
sleep
you're
better
honest.
telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm glad you tell the truth. Now I know
His
where we
card
stand.
comes out more often than mine. Because after the first drink, he forgets everything. I'm like, Brad, by the way, I paid for the last 3 times we were out.
That is true.
And he says, oh, really? And then the next day, he wakes up to the, who paid last night?
Yeah, that is true. That is
I
true.
do.
Yeah, I got it.
I
That
got
is true. That is true.
All right, let's go to, let's try Carl one more time because we have been waiting for Carl. We've been trying to be proper today as far as taking the calls. We got Carl, we got Beverly, we got a few more. But let's see if Carl is ready now because Carl had us on hold. So, Carl, how you doing?
Paul.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much for
Carl.
joining us, Carl. We've been waiting for you.
Oh, I said Paul. I hear you said Carl. I didn't know.
Who is back there typing these days? Same thing happened yesterday. Sharon, Cheryl, you know.
You know what, Fiona? When you take a call, ask the person to spell at least the first couple of letters of their name because I have noticed recently that whoever's taking the calls, we've been getting the names wrong incorrectly not many times, but enough times that I remember that we've been saying the wrong name.
Yep. Not throwing anyone
Right.
under the
We're
bus.
not throwing anyone under the bus, but we have to be more careful. So, for example, you know, if you say, "Hey, I'd like to speak to Brad on the radio," what is your name? And you think it says Carl. Carl, is that with a C with a cat, like cat? No, it's P like Paul. Oh, it's Paul. Okay, that's how we do it. Okay, Paul, what's going on?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, what I want to ask, somebody, you know, you're in filing, a married person filing, and came up, you know, on the visa and the time is expired. I mean, in that case, I mean, does the filing automatically like suspended or, you know, void or what? In that case, what happened?
I don't understand. What do you mean? Someone was filed for and they came up on a visa? Who filed for who? Give me the exact facts.
Okay, father filed for married daughter
Right.
and family, and came up on the visa and the time is expired.
Got it. I understand. So now they're out of status here in the United States. When did the father file for the married daughter?
When?
When?
In 2011.
2011. Okay, so if she's married, she has about another 4 or 5 years of waiting on the visa waiting list. That application that you filed for her is still good. It's a valid application. She's on a waiting list. If she were to be unmarried, she would be eligible for a green card maybe in another year. Because she's married, it's 4 to 5 years down the line. Now, what's going to happen is she overstayed her time. So because she overstayed her time, unless by luck she's 245I eligible, let's assume she's not, she would have to go back to her home country to pick up her green card. So where you're getting the idea that, that's the end of the case is because what the law generally says is if you go back home to pick up your green card, you can't come back for 10 years. That's the law if you overstayed by more than a year. However, under
Is
Obama...
that a fact?
I'm sorry?
Is that a fact?
That is a fact. However, what also is a fact is that there's something called a provisional waiver. You do the provisional waiver before you leave the United States to go back home. The provisional waiver is based on hardship to your parent, or if you have a spouse that's legal here too, or parents with an S. And if you can show extreme and unusual hardship to your parent or parents or your spouse, you get a waiver, and you get that waiver approved before you step on an airplane to leave America to go back home to pick up your visa. Then when you go back home, your unlawful presence, which is the time period in which this woman overstayed on her visa, is forgiven. It's waived. So they can't bar her for 10 years. So unless she has a criminal record or unless she committed some sort of fraud or, she would, or some other, weird reason, she would be able to come back in about 2 weeks with her green card. So the answer to your question, the short answer is the application is still good. She has to go back home, but before she goes home, she would need to do a waiver. Otherwise, she would get stuck. And right now, she has a long wait still on the waiting list.
Okay, so until what happened? In that case. Okay, I understand what you're saying. So she'll have to wait until the green card is ready for her to do the waiver. She can't wait.
Correct. She doesn't do it now. Correct.
Before time.
Correct.
Okay, so you said another 5 years before.
Well, right now there's a long waiting list. If I pull up the visa bulletin right now, visa bulletin for May of 2017, they're up to June 15th, 2005, meaning people who started June 15th, 2005 are getting their green cards as married children of U.S. citizens, and she's 2011, so she's got a long way to go.
Okay, so all the family will have to go back, or just one person, or that person, that is filing.
It would be the whole family goes back, but the whole family gets one waiver based on the hardship between the main beneficiary, who's the daughter, and through the parents. So if
when you say hardship, the parents can hardly manage, financially. They're sick.
Yeah, she has to take care of them. They can't go visit her back home. That type of stuff. There's all sorts of different ways to prove hardship.
Okay.
That's why you got a good lawyer like me to handle it.
And that's the reason why you're going to go on hold, and you're going to, of
But
course.
they don't need the waiver yet.
Okay.
All right.
But
They
if
don't
and
need-
when they do,
Correct.
you hit.
Yes.
Correct.
All right.
Number.
All right.
Thanks, man.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. All right.
All right, not a problem. And once again, folks, do remember that extremely important, something that we rarely mention here, and it happens to be the most powerful medium outside of Facebook, that everyone should follow David Squeeze Annakie on Snapchat. I'm just saying. All right, let's go to another call. 1-800-LawLink, 1-800-529-5465.
Bizarre thoughts by Squeeze. Okay. Just not bizarre. It's not bizarre. Random.
Random.
Right. Okay. Beverly.
It's not a conundrum.
Yes.
though.
Beverly.
Hello, Bev.
Hello. Yes. Good morning.
Is your name Beverly?
Yes, sir.
What do you
With a
think
B.
What do you think of the show Beverly with a B?
Well, I think it's very informative. You guys are funny as well.
I like that. It's funny as well.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Right. I'm very entertaining.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, not a
I
problem.
actually got to catch you all live. I always see the notice after.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm
Okay.
glad you're watching live.
All right, no
Yeah.
problem. What is your question for Brad and Squeeze? And Giselle and Little
Okay,
Nikki and
I have-
SMG.
I have two questions, actually. One is pretty straightforward. Can an undocumented person who is grandfathered under 245I file EB-5?
Can you file out of status as an EB-5 is your question?
Yes.
You can certainly file for an EB-5, but you still need to, if you're out of status, you're either have to be 245I eligible, or,
I think, yes, 245I eligible.
okay, if you're 245I eligible, then absolutely you can file for an EB-5. EB-5 is, by the way, the $1 million investor visa, that you have $1 million and you're going to hire 10 U.S. workers. You still have to be 245I eligible. Now, this is the issue. If you earned all of that money while being out of status, obviously whoever's going to file an EB-5 is a millionaire. They became a millionaire, perhaps,
Wow.
while being out of status in America. That money would not count towards the investment. It has to be money that was earned lawfully.
Okay.
Okay?
I thought there was a $500,000 one, too.
There is a $500,000 one if you are in a targeted employment area. What most people are doing right now is they're just investing in regional centers. There's like a whole bunch of just regional centers, like the Barclay Center was a regional center. There's all sorts of regional centers all over the United States that they just pool people's money. You invest the $500,000. It's usually a bad investment, but you get a green card.
Okay. I don't totally understand the regional center issue. I was trying to read up on it.
Right.
Could you give me a brief rundown on that?
There's some big real estate honcho guy. Let's call him Jared Kushner, for example. And Jared Kushner, right? Because I'm sure he's done this. And Jared Kushner would like to build a huge building, and this huge building costs $300 million to build. And you know what? Jared Kushner can go to the bank and borrow $250 million and put up $50 million of his own money because he doesn't have $300 million in cash lying around. But maybe Jared Kushner has $50 million in cash lying around. So he's got to borrow the other $250 million from the bank. But he says, "Wow, the bank is charging a lot of interest. I can go find immigrants who want to buy their way into America," because that's basically what this is. Okay, they're going to be investors in this building. They're each going to put $1 million into this building, or if it's in a targeted employment area, $500,000 into this building. And I'm going to raise $1 million from 20 people. Or in this case, I'm going to raise $1 million from 100 people. So I'm going to have 100 different investors from around the world, all who will invest $1 million, and they will have a very, very small piece of my building.
I feel like a Shark Tank here.
And instead of borrowing money from the bank,
You have it from you.
I have it from these immigrants who are basically buying their way in. And this building will employ more than 10 workers. There's custodians, there's janitors, there's elevator operators, I don't know, whatever it is, maintenance people. So there'll be more than 10 U.S. workers working in my building when it's all said and done. Right. And you got to get approved by the Immigration Service if you want to be a regional center. So instead of Jared Kushner's lawyers making up a huge contract with a bank, they make up huge contracts with immigrants. They submit it to the Immigration Service. They say, "Would you accept this, deal?" And the Immigration Service says yes or no. And if the Immigration Service says yes, you become a regional center, and now you can go sell a piece of your building, and the person gets a green card. That's basically how it works.
Okay.
You understand?
Now, let me ask you this, based on what you said.
Yes.
Now, let's say Mr. Kushner gets 100 immigrants from around the world to invest.
Right.
Now, I am one of that 100, right? And does it have to be that he gets all of the immigrants' investments before I could file, or could I file just based on my investment?
Well, he has to be approved as a regional center, and
let's say he is.
So if he's approved as a regional center, and you sign whatever the appropriate documents are, then yes, you would.
Okay, so I don't have to wait for the other 99 to get approved.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, I got you.
Okay.
Right. Now, my next question is this. So it's a little bit more complex.
Okay.
So listen carefully.
I think it's already been complex.
Okay. Listen
She's smart, though.
carefully.
She's
Yes.
very
Yes,
smart.
very,
Yes.
very.
Okay. Are we still talking about Jared Kushner's building?
No,
Okay, completely different. Kushner's done.
I don't know
Okay.
which jacket he's wearing today,
Okay,
but
fine,
he's
that's
off it for now.
Okay.
Right?
What is your
Now,
next question?
Let's say and this is an actual situation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is here legally, right, with a
Legal-
child.
Legally.
Yes, legally with a child
Okay.
that was adopted overseas legally. Everything is on board.
Right.
Could be proved and everything.
Right.
About to leave the country to go to another country and take this adopted child to her embassy from her country that she was adopted from to get her passport renewed.
Right.
Submitted the documents. The consul from that embassy steals her valid visa, issues a false document
What?
that looks like a passport, and in this field that says country of origin,
seal.
stamps the word stateless.
Oh, seal.
Okay. All right.
gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The child was adopted here in the United States. The child was
No, adopted in a country.
Does the child have a green card? The child has a green card?
No, the child was here as on a visitor visa with the parents,
And the
and they were
parents
about to leave the country.
and the parents are what status here in the United States?
At the time, in legal status. Right
What
now,
is the-
out
what
of
is-
status.
Okay, so the parents are out of status here.
Because of this situation
All
that
right,
happened.
All right, so I'm not sure about, what I will say is this. This has nothing to do with U.S. immigration, because this child is here as a visitor from another country, was adopted in another country. The parents who did the adopting have no ties to the United States of America, other than they came here on a visitor's visa and overstayed their time. This has to do with immigration, an immigration situation from that particular country, not the United States of America. Now, okay,
but-
one second.
The child was sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so now if the child is here, and has, okay, what were you going to say?
The child was made stateless while in the U.S. and cannot cross an international border as a stateless child.
Why was the child made stateless?
Because that's what they did in the embassy.
But they can't.
stole her
all
9-year
right,
visa.
all right, okay, Beverly, let the person, okay, this is what you do.
Mhm.
Make an appointment. I'm not going to figure this out on the radio. Make an appointment,
Okay.
bring in the documents, okay? Child's not made stateless, we'll figure it out. Hold on, okay?
Hang tough, Bev.
Yes.
All right,
will figure
we
it
got
out.
you back. All right.
Right.
And of course, it's now 9:38 on a beautiful Thursday with some beautiful people in this room. A wonderful group of people. that
thank you.
We
Thank
fight,
you,
we
sweetie.
laugh, we never
Appreciate
cry. I don't know about you all, but I never cry with them.
Tears of
All
joy.
right. But they're wonderful people.
So are you. You're a great person.
You know, sometimes they whine.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
I don't understand, he's so contradictory.
It's like a
to-
backhand compliment.
Like, 20 minutes ago, he told me he didn't like me, but I just keep him sane, so I.
I never
keeps me
said I
around.
didn't like
Said
it.
you just weren't friends.
We were friends.
I just like when you pick up the tab.
Yeah.
Like people really believe
Can
that.
I squeeze a question in really quick?
Absolutely.
Jasmine says, what can I possibly do? I've extended my stay here in the U.S. by having another employer for the summer. I'm in the H-2B category. I wanted to go out of the country but have my visa lapsed already. What can I do to obtain another visa so I can re-enter the U.S.?
Well, if your visa's lapsed, you're going to have trouble getting a visa. Now your question is, how do I get a green card, or how do I stay here legally?
Which you should give us a call
Correct.
and schedule a consultation
Correct.
for.
I went over on a visit.
By the way, Squeeze, can you just announce the telephone number? I don't think people know that.
All right,
They can
folks.
call
It's
us.
now 9:39. If you call and you don't get through, I will quit this show forever. The number
But
here
you
is
make
one
that threat
800.
every day.
I make it every day because
Every
I
day
am
you
so
make that
confident.
threat.
Okay, sometimes cocky. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LawLink. I have the most complex question for Mr. Bernstein right now from someone on Facebook in reference to immigration. Let us all see if he can answer this question. If he cannot answer this question, I'm
You
putting
will
my money
quit.
on
You
it.
will quit the
I
show.
will quit the show.
We will quit the
All
show.
right?
What about Giselle? Do you think she can answer this?
I am 100% sure that she can answer this question because she
Yes.
works for the law office of
Yes.
Spar Bernstein.
All right, so
I don't, so I
don't
don't.
ask Giselle if she can answer the question.
No, I'm going to ask you. I'll tell you what. I'll ask Giselle.
Let's ask Brad.
Let's. Yeah.
He's the attorney here.
Rule Hayes says I went over. Okay, come on. I went over on a visitor's visa to work, and they took it from me. Do I go back to the embassy in Kingston, Jamaica? What I really want to know is how easily can I get it back? Such a complicated question.
Giselle,
Giselle.
are you allowed to come to the United States on a visitor's visa to work?
No.
Okay, so if you were coming to the United States on a visitor's visa to work, and they took the visitor's visa away from you at the airport,
Because you were
because you were
working
coming to work,
and you
was
wanna go-
that proper for the U.S. government to do?
Yes.
Okay, so now if you get your visa taken away at the airport because you're using a visitor's visa for purposes of working, and you get sent home, that's being called deported.
Correct.
Okay, if you get deported from the United States for coming to the United States to work on a visitor's visa, do you get a new visitor's visa to come back and try to work again?
No.
No, sorry, you are out of luck.
Ro, we're not making fun of you, but we're just being
Come
very
on, yeah,
straightforward.
I mean-
I want to make that point, and the reason why I did that is because Brad,
Yeah.
Giselle, little Nikki, SMG. Nice shirt, by the way.
Every time. Every time.
Brad, do you know that people deliberately
Deliberately.
go to the U.S. Embassy in respective
Yes.
countries to get a visitor's visa
Yes.
to come to the United
I
States
am
to work?
aware.
Hold on.
By the way, the U.S. government's aware of that too.
Hold on. When they're coming through immigration, and the immigration officer asks them, why are you coming to the United States? They say,
To work.
not realizing that you are on a
yourself.
visitor's
Visitor's
visa.
visa.
So we're clearing the
Bueno.
air. Never,
No
ever,
bueno, right?
No.
never,
bueno.
never, ever come on a visitor's visa to work. There is a respective visa for whatever else you want to come here for. If it's work, then go for a work visa. Don't go for a visitor's visa. A visitor's visa is exclusively for working.
Right, so then somebody's going to say in Jamaica.
I'm sorry. No, I just got it wrong. A visitor's visa is exclusively
For
for
visiting,
visiting.
right.
And there are many other work visas.
And what somebody's going to say is, squeeze, yeah, it's easy to say, go get a work visa. How do I get a work visa?
To be
And
honest-
the answer is, you can't just walk in and say, I want a work
Exactly.
visa. You need to be offered a job in the United States.
And to
So-
be
so
honest,
it-
I think it's a lot easier in many cases to get a work visa if you go through the right channels than even to get a visitor's visa.
Very possible.
I'm telling you, I've seen it, and I'm like, I see people with advanced degrees and multiple degrees and other reasons why they can come to this country to work.
That's right.
But yet they still go and get a visitor's visa and ask the question.
Or call to have a schedule.
Or pay Brad his $150, that very low consultation fee. I'm not that I'm throwing you under the bus, man, but my consultation fee, if I were you, would be
Yeah, Squeeze told me to raise it, I won't. raise
$7 million.
it. Seven.
Yeah, go back to your number.
$7 million. By the way, yesterday, talking about having a consultation, I had a consultation with a woman yesterday. And.
Whopping $150.
Yeah. By the way, Giselle, do you want? I wanted to have Giselle say that in Spanish to everybody about the visitor's visa, but we'll say that in a second.
Yeah.
But I had a consultation with a woman yesterday, and she came in, and she said, I went to 3 lawyers already, and my friend told me to come here, and I know I'm wasting my $150.
Oh,
Okay, and
that must have stepped on your ego.
and I said, well, you may be wasting. I don't know. I said, you know, unfortunately, you're paying for my time. I may tell you, this was before the consultation even started. I said, I may tell you the same thing that 3 other lawyers will tell you. I may tell you something different. I don't know, but you're paying me for my time. So, you know, you can get up and leave now if you want, or you could tell me your situation.
Might as well
And she
get your
goes,
money's worth.
and she goes, all right, I'll tell you my situation. I came here 4 years ago. I'm single. I have nobody to marry. I have a child who's 3 years old. The father's in another country. I've never been arrested. I've never had to go to the police. I haven't, I already know, lawyer told me about a U visa, but I haven't been the victim of a crime. I have no family here. My mother's not here. Nobody here.
Jeez.
Do I have to get married?
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
And I said, well, you know, based on what you're telling me, yes, but in a bona fide marriage, that sounds like the way you would be going. So she goes, I knew it. Here's your $150. I go, well, that was the quickest consultation I have ever had in my entire life. I said, come, let's talk for a few minutes. So she says, okay. I said, what do you do for a living? She goes, I'm a nanny. I already been told by 3 lawyers that I can't get sponsored as a nanny. So
She needs
So
to watch A Secret.
pessimistic.
Ron Bryan has this book
Yeah.
called A Secret.
1 second, let me finish.
Watch it.
Yeah.
She needs it.
So I said, okay. I said, well, I said you can't get sponsored as a nanny because you didn't have anything filed in the system before April 30th, 2001. You weren't physically here on December 21st, 2000, so you're not 245I. And I said, and your mom or dad's not here, so you can't do a provisional waiver. I said, do you have any family here? Any aunts or uncles? No, I don't have any aunts or uncles. I had a grandfather who lived here, but he died like 20 years ago. And I go, oh, really? And this was, by the way, after about 10 minutes of a conversation.
Which is what you do.
Right.
You know?
I said, oh, really? A grandfather who lived here 20 years ago? What was his status? I don't know. He may have been a resident, he may have been a citizen, I'm not sure. I said, oh, really? Did your grandfather ever file for your mother? Oh, yeah, back in the 80s when I was a kid, Grandpa filed for Mom for me, but, you know, he died. I go, whoa, wait a second. I said, if Grandpa filed for your mom 20, 25 years ago, and then he died, and then Mom never came, and you were a kid at the time, guess what? You're 245I eligible. You're grandfathered under the law.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Wow, this is crazy.
Brad, we spoke yesterday. My grandfather died before he filed the papers, but he was a citizen. Is there still a chance?
Wow.
That's the
She's
question right
listening.
there, yeah.
It is.
No, this was actually up before you started.
Oh, really?
Swear to God.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I just wanted to make it clear that sometimes, let me, well, at the time, so the grandfather never filed for anybody then, basically.
So, yeah, my grandfather died before he filed the papers, but he was a citizen.
Okay,
So Is there still a chance?
And the only chance would be is if the mother derived citizenship through the grandfather.
Okay.
And then, it depends on when the grandfather became a citizen, because nothing obviously was ever filed for them. So now the story changed a little bit. But at that moment, I said, wow, it's very possible you're 245I, then you can get sponsored as a nanny, you can, do all sorts of other things. So it's worth coming in to check.
Consult.
So now, I didn't even know this, which is very funny, because it's a true story. So, so now she writes, I don't know if she's still watching or not, so she writes, can my, grandpa died before he filed anything, is that correct? Or something was filed, but nothing was approved. There's a difference.
Okay.
I don't know. Tell me what she wrote?
Exactly, she says here, good morning, guys. Brad, we spoke yesterday. My grandfather died before he filed the papers, but he was a citizen. Is there still a chance?
He died before he filed it. Well, it sounds like nothing ever went into the system then.
Yeah.
So if nothing went into the system, the only way there would be a chance is if Grandpa was a citizen before Mom turned 18, your mother, because then maybe she derived citizenship.
From?
Or maybe Grandpa was a citizen when Mom was born. Then for certain, derived citizenship, and then Mom's a citizen, and then we're talking some other way. But I was hoping that Grandpa had filed something. Unfortunately, did not.
Quick one here.
Yeah. But the point of the matter is this. You never know until you come in.
Yep.
Now, it turns out that maybe in her particular case, can't be helped.
Right.
But I can guarantee you that the other 3 lawyers she went to, or 2 lawyers, whatever it was, I think she took 2 or 3 lawyers, the other lawyers she went to never even gave any thought to this, or
Was not as diligent
and
as
never
you
sat
were.
down to just even have a conversation and see how things,
It was dismissive.
yeah.
Right. One of the things I want to note here on all of our social media platforms and for the purpose of this show, and Tadisha, I'm not knocking you, darling. I'm just disclaiming that. But if you're going to give legal advice on our pages, I have to disclaim that legal advice is not coming from the law offices of Spar and Bernstein.
Yeah, no, Tanisha should not be giving legal
So
advice.
I mean, I know you're helping,
Trying to help.
and maybe you are right with all your answers, but I don't want for this to happen where anyone gives out any information and it's inadvertent or
It's incorrect.
yeah, and then we get in trouble for it. So
And I'm not watching what she's saying, and I can
Right.
say maybe what she's saying is correct, But I can tell you, for every person that I have seen on social media give legal advice, I would say more often than not, sometimes they are right, but more often than not, they're wrong.
Right. So I'm just disclaiming that, Tanisha. And I'm not knocking you, darling. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to help, and I love what you guys are all doing with sharing information and everything.
Right.
But for compliance, I know for at least the Link Up Media group of companies, I'm quite sure definitely for the law office, we have to disclaim that. All right. So I think we should just allow the attorneys to actually do what they do best. We will try to knock off every question here. I know sometimes we don't get to all of them. And speaking of that, we should actually get to social media right now.
We are going to get to social media, but Suzette's been waiting 20 minutes, so let me just speak
9
to
minutes
Suzette
left
first.
for the show.
Yeah, and Marilyn, Marvy, Gordon, and 7 others I just saw just shared, so I appreciate everybody who just shared
Thank
this
you,
video.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
And thanks
Big thumbs
again
up
for
to
sharing.
everybody who shares.
Big thumb.
Big thumbs up. I appreciate it. Let's go to Suzette.
Yes, hi.
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 Good morning. Yes, so I have a question about a friend. He came here on a brother's visa, and also he was caught in '03 with a fake driver's license. Now he's trying to get his
What type of visa
documents
did he come
straightened
here
out. On a brother's visa.
So he came with a
Or
green
green
card.
card.
He came with a green
Yes.
card. So then,
Yes.
why did he have a fake license? Why didn't he have a real license?
Because it wasn't his thing that he came on.
So he's
on
done
someone else's.
everything wrong. He came on his brother's visa, so he made one misrepresentation. Then he continued to make that misrepresentation and had a false identification with a driver's license in somebody else's name. And now he would like to straighten himself out. I'm happy to try to help him. He should come in. It would have been a lot easier 6 months ago. He sounds like he's the poster boy for Donald Trump right now.
Big time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Donald Trump says we want to stop people who lie and commit fraud to come into the United States. We want to know who the people are who are here. People are having fake documentation and posing as somebody else. We're going to catch them and find them. That sounds like this guy. So he should come in and he
definitely
needs help.
come in and see an
He needs
attorney.
help. I don't have an answer for him off the top of my head.
1-800-529-5465. Once again, welcome to the Immigration Link. All right. I think this show went much smoother. You want to know why?
Because we started with immigration.
Because your
by the way.
face is smooth this morning. It's that
that
rugged
it?
like.
Oh my
Here
God.
we go.
Finally shaved.
Had to do it.
Dude, finally shaved. I had
Had
to
to
do
bring
it.
it back.
Dude, finally shaved.
Everything comes 360.
Karma
How
comes back
come
around.
you're allowed to have a beard? SMG's allowed to have a beard. I'm not allowed to have a beard.
Listen, you're allowed to do
Why
whatever the
is
hell
that?
you want.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
But why do I get I don't lambaste you for your facial
Oh,
hair.
you lambast me for other things.
But I don't not for your facial hair.
I hope for no hair at all. Anyway, so let's go to social media. All right. I want to say thanks to each and every one for actually tuning into the Immigration Link.
It's not the immigration.
I'm sorry. Brad and Squeeze Show. I'm sorry.
Freudian
Brad and
slip.
Squeeze Show.
Freudian
Wow,
slip.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, I know.
This is not
Yeah.
there is no immigration.
All
link
hail
anymore.
Sigmund Freud.
This is the Brad and Squeeze Show. Please let everybody know.
I shall. I'll type it in
It
right
is the
now.
Brad and Squeeze Show. That is what this is.
And this
Brad
is
and
social
Squeeze
media
Show.
check-in.
And now we're at social
Let's go to
media
the
check.
social media check-in and seeing that here's my first question on the social media check-in. My green card is valid, but my passport is not. By the way, let's back up to Ray, the guy who came on a visitor's visa. He said that he was offered a job. So he came on a visitor's visa.
Still misrepresentation.
Exactly. So I wanted you to actually
Yes.
correct that.
Doesn't just because an employer connived you, that's a good word, connived.
Yep.
You into using a visitor's visa to come doesn't
Probably
make it better.
did not connive. I mean, it's like I offer you a job and you're in Jamaica, right? And you just decide to just go to the embassy and come up rather than saying, by the way, you got to file for me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I just don't want to throw anyone under the bus,
Okay.
you know? All right, so go ahead, SMG, and then I'll come back to my question.
All right, so we're going to jump to YouTube. I believe there's a question. Oh, never mind. We don't. We only have good mornings on there. Oh, one person asked about the Mexican college student, Jessica Colodal. Have you heard about her case, Brad?
No, I
We
don't
just
know about
wondering.
her case. What's her
All right.
case?
We'll bring it back
You know
for
what
the
it
noon
is?
show. I just looked it up, so I
What is
haven't
it?
read it yet.
What is it?
Apparently, it's something she's like a DACA recipient and she's being deported. Something like that is going on.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, she had protected status.
All right, so if you can give me the
Yeah, we'll read the article and bring it back for the
facts
noon
and,
show.
All right, here's one. Good morning. I am married to a U.S. citizen and he's filing for my 15-year-old son who is still in Jamaica. His father have custody of him. At the time of the interview, if his father cannot take him and I have to go to Jamaica and go to the interview, do I need a letter from him to take it to the embassy, I guess?
It would be helpful.
It would be helpful.
It would
the
be
father.
helpful, right?
So it's a
Do you
suggestion.
know of a 601 waiver still getting approved?
I know a lot of them getting approved. They happen in my office on a weekly basis.
Okay, I have a son. I sent him to visit his mom in Jamaica 4 years ago, and she never sent him back. What can I do?
How old's the son?
Don't know, but evidently the son
Does he
is
have
a
a
U.S.
green
citizen.
card? He's a U.S. citizen.
I presume he's a U.S. citizen. That's what, you know.
If he's
I
a U.S.
presume.
citizen, then,
He's fine.
yeah,
You just got to
right.
Gotta go.
take care of that.
Yeah. My son is you want to go?
No, go.
My son is a U.S. citizen, but in Jamaica, his passport is about to expire. I am out of status and can't go back home to renew his passport. Can anyone there take him to renew it, and would they be at risk of losing their visa if they take him to renew it, being that I am out of status here?
Well, if you're out of status here and they're going to take your son to renew his passport,
He shouldn't have any.
he shouldn't have a problem because he's a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Right.
My green card is valid, but my passport is not. Would I be able to travel to Canada with just my green card?
You need a passport.
Okay.
Amanda says my friend and her 2 kids are here, but they are all out of status. She's now married and planning to file for her papers, which does she need to wait until she's gotten through before submitting the kids' I-1? She be able to also file for the kids at the same time as her own, or 30?
No, she can file altogether as long as the marriage happened before the kids turned 18.
Okay, great.
All right, here's another final question from Ruel here, the guy who visited the United States on a visitor's visa to work. From whom does an immigration officer receive the authority to search one's electronic devices, and isn't it a breach of one's privacy?
They don't have authority to check somebody's electronic devices unless you give them permission to do so. So if you go.
So if they
the
ask you for your
immigrant
device and you say-
no,
No, but if you say, here's the phone, you can go into it,
That's true.
then you're giving them the
Of course.
permission.
Right, it's like when you get pulled over by the cops. Sir, do you mind if I look in your trunk? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Oh my God, I can't believe there's a bag of weed in there. All right, so
body.
don't do it.
I can't believe there's a body.
Yeah, our body.
How did that get in there?
How'd that body get in there?
It's
right?
not my car.
It's not my car.
Not my body. My mom filed
Not my body. My body's here. I don't know whose body that one is.
It's a doll.
So in other words, Marula, pretty much you don't have to give them permission. All right, all right. My mom filed for my green card, but she's not following through with it. Can I still get a visitor's visa?
Your mom filed for a green card.
But she's not following through. In other words, I guess
Can
she
you get a
canceled it.
visitor's
She stopped
visa?
it.
You're gonna have a hard time because you've already shown an intent to live in the United States. You're gonna have a very hard time getting a visitor's visa.
Okay. Okay. Shoot. Quick. Got a minute left. I would like to ask a question. I'm here working on a permit. My permit is up in September. I'm planning on doing an extension for 2 months. How do I go about doing that? 1-800-529-5465.
Correct.
1-800-529-5465.
And if your father filed in 2006 and got an approval in 2010 but died in 2012, is it possible to still get your papers?
Yes, you can do a humanitarian waiver.
Okay.
And I think we're going to make it legal and conclude. Let's do it. The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Our results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LawLink. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LawLink. That's 1-800-529-5465. Okay, that's it for the show. Thank you all so much for joining us. With God's willing, we'll be back at 12 noon today to do it all over again. What are we going to be doing? Try to take over the world.